CTF, and then TS on the rig. When I look at these game types, I really feel like they favor OpTic Gaming. But again, we can't take away the fact that Team Liquid, they match up fairly well in terms of what their playstyle is, and I can't wait to see what that playstyle is here for the first time on LAN.
All right, well, let's kick things off with Royal 2, the sniper man himself. Let's see what he's going to do off the start here. And actually, we'll get that corrected on the screen in
Royal
just
Town.
a moment. That is not L-Town from Luminosity. This is Royal 2 from OpTic Gaming. He's going to go ahead and pick up this DMR, and it looks like he did have Frosty go ahead and pick up the sniper. But let's take a look and jump into observer mode there, maybe with Frosty, as he's got the sniper rifle, and see what he's going to do. Actually, we'll stay on board with Snakebite as he was trying to stop that flag run from happening. Now over to Eco, who has acquired that sniper, and that flag, I believe, that flag may still be moving. We've got Lethal holding the flag as well.
Protect our carrier.
Lethal from OpTic Gaming holding the flag, and Stellar holding the flag.
Yeah, that's a really important 1v1. Eco ends up winning that one. Snakebite comes in with the cleanup. Let's take a look at where Lethal's hiding with the flag. Looks like he's getting very aggressive with this, Mike. What do you think of this play?
You know, I kind of like this play because normally you'll see a team normally have 3 guys pushing up and you're normally down 1 player. So having him push up just a little bit about to that 50-yard line is going to help them out, allow him to get some damage dealt, put some shots on the player. Even that right there, just these few little shots, a rocket is going to be wasted on Lethal, and he's going to have his teammates right there. But he is going to go down. He does have a few guys right nearby.
It's a very vulnerable spot to be in. You can get hit with grenades, and as you can see, Team Liquid chucks the grenades right onto that sniper ramp and ends up dropping Lethal. And for players that may not be too familiar with CTF, you notice that Lethal dropped the flag once he got spotted. If you continue to hold that flag, it'll show above your head where you're at. But either way, Eco and Rain pushing in here. Looks like they did get the return. I think that this should be a flag capture here for Team Liquid, and they're in position to run another one, Mike.
Yes, Stellar's going to go ahead and cap flag number 1 for Team Liquid, and they are moving fast. There is a player from OpTic Gaming. Make that 2 players over into the base of Team Liquid, looking to get a pull. That's going to be Lethal on the other end, picking up the flag and running that flag on the opposite side of the map. He's going underneath rockets. He has a teammate right nearby. That's going to be Royal 2, assisting him, giving him that defense and covering him all the way back. They just got to get the return. Lethal's there. They're ready to go. They tie the game up 1-1.
What a return coming out from Snakebite. He was fighting, looking, and listening to call-outs at the same time, all while realizing where that flag was and tied it up. I mean, if he didn't get that return, Mike, we could have potentially seen another flag go in for Team Liquid in a 2-0 lead, and you never even know. If they get that 2-0 lead, they could have done what they previously did, and that's cap 2 flags in a row after a flag stand. So that's a huge play for OpTic.
Yeah, and doing something like that against OpTic Gaming is not easy, but look at this. Penguin already moving quick. He's got the flag at bottom snipe already over to his sneaky but perfect grenades coming in, and he'll get taken down. It looks like OpTic Gaming will be able to get that flag return. No, that flag is still alive. You've got Royal 2 over on the snipe side. There you go. Snakebite does get that return, and now OpTic is pushing up. That's 3 down for Team Liquid as they spawn up by the elbow. OpTic is all pushing over by the snipe side, knowing that they're going to be getting challenged by the flag in the base. Ooh. A little bit of a misplay there from Lethal, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think that he wasn't expecting the map movement to come out like Eco had, but I kind of want to touch base on the fact that Snakebite really clutched it with 2 flag returns there. And another thing is that Team Liquid slow played that cap that they didn't get. You saw Penguin toss it to the grass. He could have ran that one immediately. And then the second flag, he needed to slow play. And it's just unfortunate for him that it didn't work out. And sometimes you get a little bit lucky in Halo 5 with the flag runs. I mean, we saw even straight up against Envy how little health and shields that Renegade got on some of those flag captures, but you know, luck comes from this preparation as well, Mike. I mean, heck, you were one of the luckiest players in the game.
Yeah, oh my gosh, talk about luck. Look at that snipe shot by Royal 2. He's got the skills to pay the bills there, but on top of that, he's going to hit those lucky snipe shots from time to time.
Yeah, speaking of luck, right? And then Rain ends up finding that one. Plenty of ammo left, 9 shots, rockets on the map as well. This is a big point in time in this game for control of the map. 2 players drop on OpTic Gaming. Liquid is getting in position over here to try to get into the spawn trap area, get control of the cave with the sniper rifle, and force an elbow spawns. Nice grenade on the Lethal. Rain gets that kill, but he's no shields now, so he has to back off. You do see a player outline. Royal 2 spawned underneath the base. That's the assault rifle shots coming onto Rain. It's a 3-on-2 situation here. It seems like they should be able to get this flag out, at least towards the halfway point, but we've seen it all too often. Liquid got the counter cap, and then OpTic Gaming got the counter cap after Liquid has been able to run these flags halfway. Snakebite returning multiple flags.
All right, let's actually go over to Penguin as he's tossing the flag over into the courtyard. He's going to fall there. Let's move over to Rain, as Rain looks like, actually, look at this. You've got Eco moving the flag to the opposite side, opting that he knows players are pushing from snipe side, that there's no way he's going to be able to get that in. And check that out. Penguin does cap flag number 2 for Team Liquid. They do go up 2-1.
Wow, such a well-played game so far for Team Liquid. I mean, if it wasn't for Snakebite clutching with the returns and the rest of his teammates filling out the map, this would have been a 3-0 dominating performance on Coliseum CTF, which is arguably one of OpTic's best game types. So here we're on board with Lethal, trying to see what he can do to try to get these guys back into it. Multiple players, no shields, all hiding. The bait and switch coming in. He's not able to pick up either one of those kills. Nice job by Team Liquid.
So we got to take a second here. We saw Strowman put up a big fight. We're already seeing Team Liquid put up a big fight. Is the gap closing now between all these team roster changes? Are they closing in on Team Envious? Are they closing in on OpTic Gaming? Even the playing field?
I don't know, a lot is remained to be seen. It looks like OpTic Gaming has 3 dead at this point. Multiple players are going to spawn. I think that they're going to be going over towards top rockets right now, but what a route coming in from Snakebite. This game's all tied up at 2, Mike.
Snakebite pushing over towards the elbow now, pushing up towards rockets. Acquire these rockets, but look at this, a sneaky play from Rain. Let's jump over to him as he's going to pick up a kill, a double kill. That is 3 down for OpTic Gaming. They're running this final flag, and a massive kill from Lethal. So clutch to finish off Rain right before he got the flag in the perfect spot. Lethal picks up another kill. He's got the rockets. He is doing absolutely everything for his squad right now to keep them in this game. He was the only man alive. You're going to see him go for that betrayal there, but it's all good. That flag did get returned, and he is holding it down.
Yeah, Lethal clutching it just like Snakebite did with the returns. Rocking the combo here, has plenty of ammo left. Busts out the rocket onto Stellar, gets the killing spree for his efforts as well. He's just going to try to bring as many players to him as possible, and you can see they're flooding in there, but somehow doesn't get the melee before he needed to. And Lethal ends up dropping that rocket and sniper over there into the cave. So we'll see if Team Liquid can grab that and try to get... Oh, I think that player fell off the map. No, he's back on there. Penguin clambers over towards the period, but he's going to drop the Snakebite. Those are the rockets that ended up being dropped by Lethal, but Rain can't put them to use. Stellar does put that sniper to use, though, taking out Royal 2 and stopping the push, getting Frosty as well.
Stellar is going to go down. We do have Penguin pushing out, but he's going to go down as well. That's 2 down for Liquid. Trying to stay alive here over on the other side. That's going to be Eco just playing a little bit more defense, as you know he's going to have OpTic pushing up on him, but he does have 2 shots in the sniper. So I like this from Team Liquid right now, because the couple players that did stay alive, they really couldn't push out because they were just asking to be taken out. So they see the players on their team slowly falling, but once they spawn up, they need to push out. They're all staying back. They're not making any move. They're not picking up a kill and not getting things moving. That's 2 down for Liquid. If he's not going to be able to pick up this kill, that's 3 down for Liquid. They're spawning up over by the elbow now.
Rocket launcher in 10 seconds.
Now they get the split spawn, and they're able to keep that flag from going anywhere. So actually, Eco doing a great job right there. It looked like it could have been bad if OpTic Gaming got that flag moving out just a little bit further from their base.
Definitely. Snakebite took kind of a weird route to go all the way around and then messed up the spawns a little bit. They got the split spawns because Eco stayed alive in the cave, like you said, Mike. But at least that bought enough time for OpTic Gaming to get control of the map. As you can see, Royal 2 has the rockets over here towards top catwalk. He gets a kill with the SMG. Just waiting, crouching off radar for players to come down below him, but he realizes no one's showing up, so he has to check across the map with the DMR and a couple carbine shots to take down those shields. There's the bait and switch, though, that come in. A lot of players don't realize that you don't have to challenge that immediately. Just wait, back down, and then double back, and you'll be able to catch a player off guard. And that's a triple kill coming out from Royal 2. I believe that was all 4 dead temporarily here for Team Liquid. Frosty bringing this flag in. He's going to ground pound it around the corner so he doesn't get caught. And this should be game going over to OpTic Gaming.
What a turnaround for OpTic Gaming right there. Team Liquid came in strong. Looked like they were going to be able to close out that game. Love to check out that replay from Lethal, though, because you saw Rain. He was pretty much in the clear. 3 down for OpTic Gaming, and Lethal came in clutch with that sniper rifle. So, I mean, what a play from him. Let's take a look at the stats there. Royal 2 dropping a massive 17 assists here. And the slays I'd say about even from both sides. OpTic Gaming looking like they did outslay by a bit more here. But the assist, definitely a lot more assists from OpTic Gaming. But honestly, I got to say, Lethal saved the game for them. He saved the game, picked up that snipe kill. If he misses that headshot, Rain is in the clear pretty much, and he is just cruising the rest of the way, because I'm sure there's got to be a teammate from Team Liquid that would cut off that route or cut off that lane from Lethal trying to get another angle.
Yeah, we saw some really clutch plays pretty much from everybody. Snakebite saved the game with the return there. Saw Lethal save the game with the snipe that you're talking about. And then you saw Royal 2 at the end. Great rocket control. Really the only person that had a little bit of a slow game, and the stats kind of reflecting that, is Frosty. 14, 7, and 19. Most sets on his team, least assists, and least amount of kills. So looking to him to step it up here in the Slayer game. Got to try to make sure that you're going as positive as possible here. And it's funny, Mike, that you were talking about how if you have more than 12 deaths in a Slayer, then you're necessarily cutting into the other team's deaths here. That's a really great point to make. And Team Liquid, they got to be happy with how they played that game, though. Even though they weren't able to walk away with a win, they kept it very close. At numerous times, they should have been able to capitalize and even win that game. But unfortunately for them, the OpTic clutch factor came in.
Yeah, Team Liquid, though, I still think we're going to see a bit more from them. Eden Slayer, we saw what happened earlier with Renegade. I'm sure if we're going to see Stellar, maybe Eco get a hold of the sniper, we could see some massive plays from them. Here was that play we were talking about. If we questioned if Lethal should be challenging there. And, you know, I think it's debatable. Sometimes you want to make that push and try and assist out right here. There's that sniper when 3 were down for OpTic Gaming. But it's debatable. Sometimes you want to push up a little bit or maybe get in some cross-map shots, and just a little bit of damage. It goes a long way when your team's trying to push up to get a flag return.
Yeah, look at Royal 2 just predicting with the Rockets and the DMR where that player was going to go because the flag was being ran. But it was just very clean execution coming in from OpTic. They had numerous plays that just caught Team Liquid off guard, and now we move into Eden Slayer here. Blue team obviously should be able to get the sniper rifle here unless the red team elects to grenade it or tries to light the player up. I really like the route that we saw Renegade take where he went down low, came back around, and grabbed that sniper rifle. So I wonder if we're going to see anything like that again. But this game type, obviously, if you guys are not familiar with it, you want to try to control as much of blue base as possible, try to lock down that sniper rifle, also control the security area so people can't come around and get that easy flank through that blue alley area. Obviously, rockets are a big point that you have to contest outside when that's the case, and that's when you need to focus on these rotations and making sure that you are locking down as much as possible. But it's hard when you want to control security and control outside during the rockets. Sometimes you see some players just completely oblivious to the fact that those are coming out and they're sitting on the security side of the map, and that's just the wrong side at that time.
Definitely, and talking about having that sniper at blue side, keeping that sniper rotating over to blue bend as well and trying to pick off any players that are pushing outside, because you can get so exposed and just caught out in the open. You've got nowhere to go, and that sniper is going to be able to pick up an easy kill there. So who do you want to kick things off with here, Tom?
Well, I say that we got to go with someone on the blue team that's going to possibly go for the snipe. So let's go with possibly Stellar and see what he's going to do.
All right, starting off with Stellar. They are going to be spawning at blue, so that sniper is on this blue side, but they'll have to be careful not to be killed by those barrels and not get caught out too far. But nice kill, nice perfect kill from Stellar there. He's making his way over towards Rockets to try and get some cover fire. But look at this. We've got Penguin with the sniper, so let's jump over to him. He's going to hit the body shot. Rockets are going to be acquired by one of the players on OpTic Gaming. That's going to be Snakebite. So Penguin's going to hang back here. He's got his entire team over by Turbine. They've got the lead. Snakebite has the Rockets over somewhere by that red side.
Yeah, he traded with the Rockets, though. So it was 3-0, and then Snakebite traded. That made it 4-1, and the Rockets now went on over to Stellar. So Sniper, Rockets, and the lead here with blue positioning for Team Liquid. This is pretty much their game to just slowly and surely pick away at, but somehow a player gets behind Penguin, has a splinter grenade as well. 2 grenades come in. Lethal clutching it with a flank. Somehow Frosty gets a beatdown, and now Stellar's in no man's land with these Rockets stuck in the pit.
Right, yeah, just trying to get into a better position, not able to really do anything with this. We're all tied up now, 4-4. And now, once having control. They have zero control.
Wow.
Moving over towards the red side. Absolutely losing blue base and not being able to keep that sniper in control. That player must have been moving quick from OpTic Gaming to get behind Penguin, and very fast because Penguin, yeah, he had no clue that that player was sneaking by, so a great play from the player.
Honestly, Lethal is doing everything that he can to make sure that OpTic Gaming wins this series. You just saw him fight 3 different players, gets the perfect onto 1 for the kill in the trade, fought another guy no shields outside before that, and then took another guy down to no shields before that as well. And he had the flank, the big flank over towards the alley to kill Penguin. So OpTic Gaming, this is exactly what they needed to do after being down 4-1. Liquid, they were up 2-1 in the previous game on Coliseum CTF. They have a 4-1 lead, complete positioning, and they just threw it away, gave it to OpTic.
Snakebite trying to get away with the sniper now. Rockets are up. He's going to have to completely get out of dodge here and stay alive with the sniper. You know, with how well OpTic Gaming has been playing, I want to hop into a listen-in with these guys. Let's check out what their communication is like.
Nice down blue window. All right, I got that. Nice one, nice one. Where is it? Already in blue. I'm getting excited. I got it, Brad. I got it. You wear rocket. Yeah, one tower. Blue door, I think. I saw it. One tower.
Sniper low on ammo.
I'm doing tower down there. They have rockets probably going tower.
Clean headshot.
No, one's above me. Where?
Tower.
Sniper in
Distraction.
Sniper rifles ready.
I got his sniper running. I got rockets. Lock down blue. It's down blue too. Snipe him. I can go for it.
He's absolutely key.
One tower down. One tower still. I got tower. Did you look at the butt? Yeah.
All right, there you hear it. OpTic Gaming sounds very, very calm, but lethal with a lot of sniper ammo. Pretty much all the sniper ammo in the game right now. 22-14. OpTic Gaming leading a little bit more. Kill by kill. We're going to see Snakebite fall, but rockets will be coming up soon. Lethal doing a nice job at just keeping the sniper at blue base, staying up near the catwalk, getting a lot of sight lines. He does pick up the body shot, but he does have teammates around, possibly, potentially, to be able to finish that. And I like this play. Lethal notices they're losing control of blue base. He sees Snakebite die, Royal 2 die. Instead of staying and trying to fight for blue base, he just does a complete rotation around the entire map. And now, Team Liquid had no clue where Lethal was until he just shot that first bullet, getting that player down to 1 shot.
Yeah, that was a big snipe right there, even though he didn't get the headshot, at least trying to help his buddy Snakebite outside. But either way, Rain was able to make his way out with those rockets. And Rain shoots a rocket, doesn't get a kill there, so you see Lethal just waiting for him to pop up and go into security because that's the popular area to bring that rocket launcher. So curious to see what's going to happen between this little mental game between Rain and Lethal, the 2 power weapon players on the map. Liquid's going to need to get the sniper out of Lethal's hands. And like you said, Mike, he has so much ammo, and they're down 7 kills. I'm still just completely shocked that no one helped. Ooh, there it is, the snipe onto Rain. That is the priority kill that they needed. I'm still just so shocked that Penguin didn't have any support in the beginning of the game over towards alley and security side, and they just allowed Lethal to come up there for free. And that's pretty much why you're seeing the game kind of get out of control here for Liquid. Yeah, it's still only 8 kills, but you're going up against OpTic Gaming. They're extremely disciplined. That's the type of discipline that you need to have in the beginning of the game, not to give up your setup for pretty much nothing.
Yeah, and you can tell OpTic Gaming is so easily, they're so versatile. They're able to hold blue base, and they're able to hold red base. Lethal looks like he's been in this area before and in this position many times before, so he knows what he's doing. He was able to pick up a lot of sniper kills there. Let's actually move over to Stellar now as Stellar picks up the sniper, hits a snapshot for the double kill, and will have a teammate finish off Frosty. So let's see if they're able to kind of rally back. They're only down by 3 now, and he's got 8 shots in the sniper. Rockets are coming up. The next sniper is coming up, so we may potentially even see 2 snipers on the map right here.
when you get two snipers on the map, it's always hard to decide. Do you want the same person to have double ammo, or do you want two snipers on the actual map? Stellar looks like he should get all the ammo, honestly, the way that he's playing this one. Gets an assist, gets a kill, isn't able to get the trade onto Lethal, and again, Lethal always coming up clutch. That's the second time he's prioritized killing that sniper player, and he's taken it out of their hands both times.
Penguin in a great spot to pick up the rockets now. And you were asking, is it good to have two snipers on your squad? A beautiful rocket real quick from Penguin. Yes, sometimes I think it's great to have two snipers. Sometimes maybe just giving it all to one player, because then you get two guys kind of playing a little bit too passive, and then it's too easy for the other team to make that push. Penguin now rotating around over towards tower. Definitely a lot easier to keep these rockets at bay here by this closing quarters area by the back alley. He's going to fire one rocket, miss that. He's going to connect a little bit there with that second rocket, and Eco's going to finish off that kill. We are all tied up, 35-35. Penguin's got one rocket left. He's going to hang out here by tower. He's got a teammate nearby as well, but there is no rush right now. They've got the sniper in the hands of Stellar, and they've got Penguin with one rocket, so let Stellar do the work here.
Yeah, you do have a flank coming in from Snakebite around the corner. You can see laid down a couple of pistol shots onto Stellar. You can see Stellar going for the no-scope there. Assault rifle coming out for Snakebite, and there it is again, Lethal. Third time is a charm, killing the sniper again in this game, prioritizing the kills that he needs to get. But it's crazy to think, Mike, that Team Liquid brought this back here, especially considering that it seems like OpTic Gaming, besides the first initial push, has had control the entire time.
Yeah, I think that Team Liquid, during that last push, though, they didn't really... They didn't hold off OpTic Gaming too well. They were spread out over by tower too much. They had their focuses on the wrong side of the map. They had two players from OpTic Gaming just easily push into blue bend and get into blue base and take down Stellar in a 2v1 battle. Stellar would have had to hit two incredibly lucky shots to win that battle, but now let's move over to Penguin again as he's got the sniper.
Yeah, and I want to jump into observer mode here, Mike, while we have the chance, so we can see exactly where the player outlines are with these rockets coming up. And what is OpTic going to do to try to retake control? Again, Penguin, in the beginning of the game, had sniper rifle, got flanked by Lethal for free, and that's kind of been the big difference maker here, as Penguin does have the sniper rifle. Again, only 3 shots in this one. You got to assume that the rockets are going to go in the hands of OpTic Gaming. That's in Snakebite's hands as well. So we're going to come into a little bit of a standoff here. 40 to 43.5 minutes left.
Snakebite just hanging out over there by the tower right now, not really moving too much. You're seeing trade for trade happen. Nobody able to really get a lead right now. 2 rockets fired. Nice snipe from Penguin on Lethal. He's going to get the double kill on Snakebite. That's the rocket guy. He's down. I do believe he was out of rockets, though, and he still has 2 shots left in the sniper. They're up by 1 kill. Now tied. Now up by 1 kill. Back and forth we go here, Tom.
But no, they're tied, and then they're back, and then they're tied, and then they're back. But no, that's how this game's been. It has been back and forth, Mike, and it's just insane to think that Penguin's over here and they're not calling him out, still over in the red nest. There's Lethal trying to go for him again. Can he find the kill, though? This is a very important kill if Penguin can find him. He switches on over. Doesn't want to challenge Lethal. Instead, he wants to get the free kill onto Royal 2. He thought he was out of ammo, realizes he has 1 shot left, and that may change what he wants to do. Instead, now he rotates back on over to his teammates, and you can see everyone from OpTic Gaming on the player outlines. They're outside in that red base.
Another great rotation on the opposing team. Now we saw Lethal make a great rotation. Now Penguin completely rotating on the other side of the map. Nice little angle here, not able to spot anybody, but we do have rockets coming up right now. Liquid with a 3-kill lead. They can take it a little bit slow, but you don't want to hang back too much, and that's going to be 2 kills. You also have a sniper in Stellar's hand. He picks up a kill on Frosty. Snakebite goes down, and that is going to be it. Lethal will go down for the 50th kill. What a game from Team Liquid, showing some signs of weakness there on OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, and some resilience there. There was a time where I thought that there was no way OpTic Gaming could lose because of the fact that they had such good control with about a 6 to 8 kill lead, still had plenty of snipe left. They didn't have blue, they were kind of stuck over at red, but there's really no excuse for OpTic Gaming to allow Liquid to get back into this one. It was just sheer willpower coming out from the side of Liquid as we take a look at the stats.
Yeah, and honestly, you take a look at the power weapon kills. 7 power weapon kills from OpTic Gaming, only 6 from Team Liquid. So obviously power weapons play an effect. It didn't seem to play too much an effect right there. Snipers were a big factor of that game, but we saw great rotations, and neither team really able to just go away with it and control that sniper and control the rocket the entire game. Both teams were able to counter incredibly well, and Team Liquid definitely, I think this is a team to reckon with right now. I know Ghost and Onset, they were talking earlier about potentially what team is going to be that third place team. Is it going to be straight ripping now? Or is Team Liquid going to be there? We won't know yet. As this tournament goes on, it's so hard to tell with how close these games are, and it all does come down to today and how clutch these players are.
Just want to point out again that I feel like Lethal is playing at a very high level, and the one person that seems to be a little slow out of the gates is Frosty. I mean, it's only -4 performance there in a Slayer, but what did they ended up losing by? It was 50 to 45, so that's a pretty big -4 there in that instance. Only the other person going negative was Snakebite, 12 and 13, and as we were discussing, you never want to try to have more than 12 deaths there, unless you're going to have a ton of assists. But either way, he kind of was really slow out of the gates in game number 1, a little bit slow here in game number 2. I'm looking at him as the X factor here for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, it really came down to that last sniper with Penguin here, just picking up kill after kill and then making that final rotation over back towards blue. And you saw Stellar had that second sniper. So they did eventually have 2 snipers on their squad, and definitely towards the end of the game right there, things are going to slow down. I think that is definitely where you want to see 2 players on your team have a snipe, because you're going to be able to cut off all those routes, cut off all those angles when that gameplay really slows down and people are really calculating and taking that time to overanalyze a play that they're going to make.
Right, now we move into the swing game here. We're virtually in a best-of-3 now with the series being tied up 1-1. Plaza Strongholds, whoever wins this is going to have pretty much 2 games to just try to win one and move on to the winners bracket finals to face up against Envy. Mike, predictions for the game?
Plaza Strongholds, I feel like we've seen historically OpTic Gaming be really good on this game type. And, just with the amount of coordination and team control that they have, I feel like we more so do see OpTic Gaming lose Team Slayers. So when we're here on Strongholds Plaza, this does take a good amount of, hey, we need to block these spawns over here on this side and force them to spawn over in Blue Room, or force them to spawn over by the yard. And OpTic, they've always done a great job of controlling the loop and controlling over by sniper and controlling bottom mid and forcing that team to spawn over in back blue by the cafe, where that team has the longest route to make it to any 3 of the strongholds.
Well, guys in the chat, I want to know who you're rooting for. Give us a 1 if you're going for OpTic Gaming. Give us a 2 if you're going for Team Liquid. Strongholds Plaza, this one's getting underway. Mike, who are we going to start off with?
Let's kick things off with the OpTic Gaming side. You've been talking about Lethal, so let's go with Lethal, see what he's going to do off the rip. If they're going to be able to get this power up here, they are going to be by the loop. They are going to get some sight lines here up to top mid. That camo is still just going to be sitting there, and Lethal's going to go down extremely fast. We're going to go over to Snakebite now as he's fighting a battle here over in Flowers, trying to stay alive to pick up the yard here. I do believe the camo did go in the hands of Rain, so let's jump over to Rain as he's top snipe. There's one stronghold in favor of both teams, and that nest is going to still be up in the neutral zone. So let's see if Rain is going to be able to pick up this capture here. He does get a nice splitter grenade, and he will have the help from a teammate nearby. They're going to fight a 2v1 here, but across the map, you've got Royal 2 and Frosty helping out with some cross-match shots.
Yeah, not the best use of camo there from Rain. I understand where his head was at, and he definitely probably should have chased that kill there. But either way, now Stellar had to back off, give nest up, and they gave up bottom middle, or on the verge of giving up bottom middle. There it is, all for yard, which they end up taking back somehow. Eco gets 1 kill, Penguin gets 2. And now Royal 2 stuck over here in the yard instead. This isn't where he wants to be. You don't want to try to trade bottom middle for yard, but I guess I'll take it, especially because he has the shotgun and they already do have nest control, so you can assume that that's all of the focus now for both of the teams going to be on over that side of the map.
Yeah, what Team Liquid is doing a great job at right now is not letting OpTic Gaming get into their prime setup here, where they're controlling bottom mid and they're controlling nest. They've not yet been able to do that. And look at this. You're going to see right as OpTic Gaming leaves the nest, Team Liquid is already on top of it. They're in the yard, picking up yard. But now OpTic Gaming has their setup. They've got bottom mid. They've got nest. They may not be in position entirely, all players on the team. And we're going to see them lose bottom mid. This is back and forth. No team is able to get a strong set on the map and really kind of keep that other team at bay.
Yeah, it's like deja vu over here with Royal 2 going on back over towards the yard where they trade strongholds that they don't want for these other ones, and it's just unfortunate for them that Royal 2 is trying to stay alive as long as possible, but what's staying alive for too long? There's a certain point where you could be almost baiting your teammates, but Royal 2, he's one of the best Halo 5 players. He's going to know when to push, when to get aggressive, and when not to. But Mike, I mean, just look at that. What has he been doing for the last minute and a half besides maybe laying down a couple of shots and got the stronghold in the yard, which isn't that difficult to do.
Exactly. Well, now over to Stellar, and actually we'll see that tweet on the right, hoping that Liquid can create an upset versus OpTic. I'm sure a lot of Team Liquid fans would love to see that. That is a possibility right now. They are in the lead 28-13 and looking like they do have the dominant hold on this map right now, keeping OpTic Gaming at bay over by the yard. Now we're seeing them get in control. That's 2 down for OpTic Gaming. We'll see rainfall, but Team Liquid has entire control of the 2 best strongholds on the map. And you're going to see OpTic Gaming spawning over in blue. Stellar challenging the 1v1 battle right now, poking back out, showing no fear at all.
Exactly, Mike. That's exactly what you have to do here, too. You can't show any fear going up against these teams. You have to believe that you can hang. Unfortunately for Stellar, that is a fight that he should win. SMG going up against an assault rifle. He didn't have the height advantage, but he knew that guy was coming. Snakebite doing whatever he can to try to control this nest. Here's another big 1v1. Just needs one more pistol shot to get the kill on the Penguin. And that's 2 big up-close battles that he ends up winning to try to retake this nest. Another 1v1 over here towards the snipe side. He does have some help, so it looks like he's probably going to end up going S4.
They're getting trip capped on. It looked like Snakebite was doing so much that entire time, and nothing was happening. You had Team Liquid getting that trip cap.
Yeah, you just said it, Mike. It looked like he had so much going on from his point of view. Taking a look at the kills over here, Frosty stepping up big this game. He's 10-7. Lethal a little slow out of the gates, currently sitting at 2-7, and Snakebite at 3-6 on the other side of Team Liquid. Pretty even in Slade, so it's just a matter of rotations here, and Team Liquid controlling the stronghold. We're not even getting out Slade. This is even in Slade.
There you are now. Let's stick through the respawn with Royal 2 as they're trying to make a comeback here. Down by quite a bit. Anything's always possible with strongholds, but look at this Team Liquid with another trip cap right now. Camo is up. Royal 2's able to pick it up. Can he stay alive? No, he can't. That's going to be 3 down for OpTic Gaming. Let's jump back over to the Team Liquid side, over to Rain, 74-13. Now over to Stellar. Stellar trying to stay alive here. Still has the trip cap, 78-13.
Yeah, that was pretty odd to see, but either way, we have Stellar here with the shotgun, laying down some damage. Plenty of ammo left in that if anyone wants to pick that one up. But it looks like he does drop, and Team Liquid going for another triple cap over here in the yard. You got to assume that they're going for nest. Yes, OpTic Gaming making their way over towards that nest area, and it's a temporary triple cap, but that's going to lock down at least 4 points for these guys, and they have the double cap too on bottom middle. So this is really good for Team Liquid and their fans right now. Even if they do give up control to OpTic Gaming, they have a huge buffer and plenty of time to come back and just get 8 more points.
Yeah, but we've seen OpTic Gaming definitely pull back some ridiculous comebacks, especially on Stronghold Eden. It's easily possible when you look at the score. It's a long way away. Team Liquid is going to be able to get control of that second stronghold, though. Eco is going to be able to pick up a kill. That's going to be 1 down for OpTic Gaming, but 2 down for Liquid. They're still getting points, though. Now to 96, still putting the pressure on to bottom mid. Now 97, and finally OpTic Gaming is able to stop the bleeding. They've got a long journey ahead of them. Eco trying to make his way all the way around yard and potentially pull a sneaky play, but there is a player over by the loop. He is going to fight a 1v1. Not sure which player from OpTic Gaming this is, but he is going to go down. There is a second player from OpTic Gaming right nearby.
You can see Rain is capturing Nest right now. If he's able to get this would be absolutely huge. They capture yard on the other side, so not able to rack up any points for their efforts there, but either way, still getting a priority stronghold and trading yards for Nest. That's going to be good for them. Now you can see everyone having to come out from Nest on the OpTic Gaming side. This is the big battle for bottom middle, and Snakebite ends up clutching it. It's not over quite yet, Mike.
All right, over to Snakebite now. Let's see if they can get the trip cap in their favor. They've got a nice setup there. There's 2 players from OpTic here by the nest, getting control up by the bridge. And look at this. They're getting into position. They're forcing the other team to spawn over in blue and over by yard. So they have got the perfect setup that they are so used to.
Yeah, and Royal 2 also has the camo, so we're taking a look at what's going on from this point of view. Could have busted out the shotgun, but instead ends up going with the melee, make that a double kill and the killing spree. And we've seen him in the yard so many times with this shotgun here. He's going to have to get this capture and get out of there immediately. Really curious to see where the spawns are on the other side. You got to be careful if they're going to go for the nest. Again, you don't want to trade that yard for the nest area and keep control of that S4 side of the map. But Royal 2 predicting exactly where they're going to go. Didn't realize there was a player in hotel. Nice job by Eco getting that trade with Royal 2. He's the last guy alive stuck over there. It looks like he's going to eventually get cornered by the members of OpTic Gaming. And Lethal is just going to try to watch the push coming in from Flowers into yard. Smart decision to back off here and not overextend. If he overextends on that and dies, that's going to be numbers advantage going on over to Liquid, and they should be able to push on that bottom middle area. Got to assume that's exactly where Liquid's focus is going to be. 3 players are going to drop. 3 players are dead now for OpTic Gaming. That's the 4th player. Rain makes his way down there, and that's going to be game. Liquid is going to take game number 3 over OpTic Gaming and take the lead in the series 2-1. Definitely
did not see this coming. Look at the excitement there from Team Liquid. Was not expecting them to come out leading the series now 2-1. We're going to be going into an epic game 4. Let's take a look at those stats, though. And actually, they both had 46 kills combined each. Both teams getting the same exact slay amount. And actually, let's take a look at the strongholds captured and see which players were kind of focused on the objective a lot there. And a lot of back and forth there. A lot more defenses from OpTic Gaming and only 1 from Team Liquid, but still able to pull out the win. A lot of great play. Let's take a look at the damage dealt there and see which players were kind of being the most aggressive. Eco with over 2,000 damage output, so definitely always great to have a teammate that's always putting a lot of damage on the other players, and that really makes it hard to make a push when they're constantly just trying to get their shields back. But Team Liquid, folks. Team Liquid is winning the series right now 2-1. One more game to close it out. OpTic Gaming has got to win this next one to take it to game 5. Truth, capture the flag. Up next, Tom, what are you thinking right now?
I'm thinking that was kind of a rough game for Lethal. I mean, 5-14 there, the guy that was playing so well in the previous 2 games, and then, you know, it's an 8-minute game, Michael. I understand he had plenty of assists, and there's obviously objective work going in there, but to pick up less than a kill a minute, that's not very good.
Yeah, definitely a little bit different than what we just saw there on Coliseum Capture the Flag, going from being so hot to now kind of being so cold. What does OpTic Gaming have to do right now to kind of turn things around?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like OpTic is playing nearly as well as they should be. I mean, this could have been a 3-0 almost. You saw the players coming from, you know, in Coliseum, Team Liquid ended up being up in that game that they should have potentially won. OpTic Gaming just doesn't seem like they're really into it. They're coming out kind of flat.
Yeah, and you're actually seeing a little bit of frustration between the guys there on OpTic Gaming. Definitely upset about that last game and got to shake it off and go into the next one, being ready for anything that comes at them and get that entire strategy down of, yeah, as simple as, hey, what's the beginning strat? What are we going to do off the start of this match here? Where are we going to be running the flag more? What are we going to be doing? And you called it earlier. How many times did we see Royal 2 in that yard? He was there for so long, and normally that's not the stronghold you want to be holding.
Yeah, that was the final push right there where Lethal came and flanked around yard, and because he did that, he was no longer in position to help any teammates that were getting killed by the players that were flying out in blue or flowers or top gold, and then that resulted in a 2v3 situation where OpTic only had 2 players trying to defend bottom middle, and Liquid sent 3 guys down there. Once they captured that, it was pretty much game over, but that was just a really nice start coming out from these guys. It seems like they've done their research on what the beginning strategies are for OpTic Gaming. They seem to know where the other players are going to go, and they're countering them very well. Yeah,
and we got to give a shout out to Team Liquid's coach, Symbolic, definitely helping out the squad quite a bit. Always kind of studying other gameplay and letting the guys know what each team is going to be bringing at them. So definitely being the 5th man on the squad for the Team Liquid guys. Going into this next match, I mean, Capture the Flag Truth, we see fast game types. Sometimes we see those extremely long game types down to the OT mark, and where we'll see the clutch moments, which we saw at Orange County from OpTic Gaming, pulling in a clutch flag cap to go to overtime and win the game. So we know OpTic Gaming is good at this, but it seems like they're just kind of off balance right now, and
yeah.
Definitely going to be off balance probably throughout the rest of this series, because Team Liquid is definitely shaking them up. And OpTic Gaming, I don't know if they've been in this position before where they're down 2-1 in winners semis.
Well, they're not used to it, that's for sure. And I would like to see OpTic Gaming get fired up. I mean, they're a pretty chillax team. They like to just kind of have the call-outs that doesn't crowd the communication too much. They don't get too loud. They don't get too hype. But I think that this could be a potential time to see that. Someone needs to get fired up here and get these guys going and get some energy going, because maybe they've been sitting around waiting all these other matches happen and didn't come in warmed up or just mentally prepared. Something seems a little bit off, but that's just a testament to Liquid. And anytime that you're a top team and you're not playing good, it's most likely because the other team is adding pressure to you and forcing you to play bad.
Right, you are, Tom. Let's kick things off with a player from Team Liquid at the start of this match. Let's check out what Penguin is going to be doing at the start of this match. Making his way over towards pink side, getting his eyes on the camo. He does have a player behind him as well, giving some more cover fire, making sure no player does pick up that camo. You've got two players pushing pink from OpTic Gaming. Look at that. That's going to be 3 down. Last player alive is Royal 2, trying to stay alive over by the car side. Penguin's got the sword now too, but look at this. And a failed attempt there from Team Liquid trying to get underneath the base. You're going to see 2 players go down from Team Liquid, but nonetheless, you see Penguin with the sword.
Yeah, nice melee though by Royal 2 to take him down to no shield, so Penguin can't continue to add pressure on the map. He had to wait a couple of seconds for that to recharge. Now he's looking for the players over towards the car side, and that's not a good start for OpTic Gaming, down 2-1 in the series and giving complete control on over to Team Liquid. If Frosty wasn't able to get that early kill while the player pushed into the base, it could have been an early flag capture here for Team Liquid, but it doesn't seem like Liquid's able to infiltrate the base. You see Rain over there trying to get in there. Royal 2 is going to get the kill onto him, and now Penguin's going to have to fall all the way back to his base to play some defense.
It's 2 down right now for Team Liquid. This is kind of up to Penguin right now. It's up to him to go clutch, to potentially pick up any kills here and stop this flag run from happening. That's Rain going to go down. Penguin's going to go down as well. Can they get a 3rd down? That sword will be acquired as well.
Yeah, not a big fan of going back to the base and have pink control. OpTic Gaming finally punishing that. That's the first kind of strategic error in terms of map positioning that we've seen come out from Team Liquid, but understanding where he's coming from, you do want to try to get the best players in the world out of your base. Try to make up for it with spawning and getting a double kill there is Penguin. Rain's going to get a kill on the Royal 2 as well. OpTic Gaming not going to be able to continue to push this flag. Snakebite's going to realize that, so he just tries to get the height advantage and get map control as much as possible. Rain flying out towards bottom center. Snakebite doing a nice job distracting and staying alive. Somehow still alive up there. Even takes another player down to no shield. Can't believe that Liquid hasn't picked him off yet. And now it looks like they're running the flag on OpTic's side.
Snakebite's going to get the kill down here, pick up the beat down. You've got Eco with the sword kill though, and Stellar does take down Lethal on top of that. So that flag attempt is still not going to happen, but on the other side, you've got Team Liquid running the flag. That's going to be 2 down for Team Liquid. Let's actually jump on over to Frosty and see what this man is doing. You've got Snakebite picking up camo. Frosty right above him, pushing into the base. These 2 are working together. Frosty making his way into level 2, trying to get into the base and just get 1 flag moving. He's got Snakebite behind him still. Double kill from Frosty. This is the time to run the flag. This could be 3 down for Team Liquid. Yes, it is. And now Frosty moving the flag towards pink.
Yeah, finally waiting for his shields to recharge. He's going to toss that one on over to the sword guy. But they don't have anyone to watch people overextending to try to get a touch, so I'm assuming that they do get a touch on the Liquid side. And there it is. I believe that is Kiko tossing that one out towards the bottom center. Here comes the fly-in from Royal 2. Gets the kill onto Rain. All he had to do was switch over to his pistol. Made that one a little bit more difficult than he had to. That's going to be temporary. All 4 dead. OpTic Gaming should be able to get this cap, and they do. That's exactly what they needed to try to get their feet back underneath them, because Team Liquid has them on the ropes right now.
2, and OpTic Gaming already keeping up that aggression, keeping up that pressure. Nice headshot across the map. Picks up the battle rifle. He's got 2 players from his team inside the base. He's able to pick up the kill, but he gets hit by a plasma pistol shot. And look at this. You've still got 2 players from OpTic Gaming in the base, but see Frosty fall, and this push is going to be over. Now OpTic Gaming is going to play a little bit more defensive, as they should, play to get a few more slays and then make their second attempt to go for that second spot.
Nice Spartan charge for the double kill coming out. from Royal 2 with the killing spree as well. And that's the thing about OpTic Gaming is, you know, whenever someone has a bad game, usually the other guys are playing at such a high level that they pick each other up. And we're not seeing anyone kind of go and take it to that whole ridiculousness that we normally see. And we've seen a couple of performances from the guys on OpTic side. So this could be the game where all four of them are finally putting together strong individual performances.
Penguin trying to sneak back to his base. As shown on radar there, you're going to see two players make that, three players from OpTic Gaming fall. You're going to see that last player from OpTic Gaming, that pink one, as the other players start to spawn up. Team Liquid starting to move the flag. Penguin just flying across the map, trying to get some cover here so they can keep that flag moving. He is going to get some more shots, but look at this. Players absolutely everywhere. You've got Eco trying to get that flag over towards his side of the map. It's stuck at the 50-yard line. Loses the sword, and OpTic Gaming gets the return.
Yeah, that flag wasn't going anywhere. Unfortunately, Penguin couldn't lay down the amount of damage that he needed to. They got triple team pinched over there towards that tunnel area. Very amazing shots from Royal 2 onto Eco, and here it is, the big difference maker, Snakebite with the camo, trying to get into the Team Liquid base and get this flag pulled out. Members from Team Liquid should be spawning over towards that bubble area. Here comes the push over towards the car side. Snakebite fighting 3 members for Liquid. That's 3 dead for OpTic Gaming.
Royal 2, the last one, just trying to get some shots across the map. Wait for his teammates to spawn up. Great play by him. Not more you can do in that type of scenario when you see 3 red X's on your screen. You can't really do too much. That's going to be 2 down for Team Liquid, though, as they try to rally back and get a push. But now 3 down for Team Liquid. They go back and forth from slaying OpTic Gaming out of their base, but they can't get into OpTic Gaming's base. 3 down again. Royal 2, the last player alive for OpTic Gaming. Nice job at staying alive there at top car. And that's going to be Stellar. Let's actually jump over to Stellar. It looks like he's going to be pushing into the base.
Yeah, nice shot by Stellar getting to the enemy bubble with the carbine, so laying down some serious cover fire. Now he's going to leave the bubble because he wants them to stay there, but Lethal comes back with the amazing defense. If it wasn't for Lethal coming back right there, that would have been a for sure cap for Team Liquid to tie this one up at 1-1. That's going to be what they need because OpTic Gaming has been in pretty good control of this game, except for right here where it seems like Team Liquid's starting to fly in. There's Lethal again with another clutch kill onto the flag guy. Multiple grenades coming in. Snakebite gets a kill onto Penguin. It's a 2-on-2 situation as you do have members of OpTic Gaming spawning over towards the car. That's a big pick up there for Rain. Getting the kill onto Snakebite. Stellar for some reason ends up trying to run the flag with the camo. Could have slow played that a little bit more, but this flag is super close to going in. Royal 2 clutches it with a double.
Rain still has the flag, though. I like what he's doing right here. I would have loved to also see Stellar played a little bit slower, maybe go for some slays there when he had the camo, kind of just forcefully trying to get that flag back into his base. Now over to Eco as he's keeping that flag alive, keeping it on the car side as his teammates are spawning up by the bubble. So if he does go down, it's out in the open. So he does go down, it's out in the open. It's going to be very hard for OpTic Gaming to get that return, and you're going to see Lethal over on the other side with the flag just waiting, hoping his team can get this return.
Yeah, there was an instance where it seemed like OpTic Gaming could have sent plenty of resources over towards the Liquid side and got the return, but at the same time they wanted to have a flag grab of their own, and that seems to be like what Lethal wanted to do in that situation. But this isn't very good for OpTic Gaming because they have complete map control on the side of Team Liquid. Stellar ends up getting a double kill. That flag is just sitting there waiting to be returned. You can see Penguin does have a player on his radar. Huge 1v1 coming up, gets the kill onto Royal 2. There's the flag return, all tied up at 1, Mike.
Here we go, about 4 minutes left in the game, being tied up. We're going to have Camo coming up in about 35 seconds as well. We've seen OpTic Gaming get a lot of those, so we got to see Team Liquid get a hold of it and actually do something with it. If Stellar gets it, use it to slay a little bit, and don't force any flag runs. Penguin now falls. Let's move over towards the other side. As Snakebite is moving a flag. He's going to go down. That flag is sitting down there. Lethal's going to be nearby to try and pick it up. But there are just players from Team Liquid cross-firing from absolutely everywhere.
When you're playing against these top teams, what they do so well is you take them down to no shields, and then when you think that they're going to hide, you focus on one of their teammates, and they double back and end up double teaming you and killing you. And that's what we're seeing Team Liquid do better than OpTic Gaming in this series.
You are Frosty now still back in his base. As we saw Snakebite fall over at the peak side of the map. That's 2 down for Team Liquid. Now OpTic Gaming can potentially make a push up, but they do have a player behind them. You can see Rain pick up another kill on Snakebite. Frosty getting some shots across the map. He'll get double teamed and taken down. Great teamwork from the guys on Team Liquid.
Yeah, this is the first time stat-wise that we're seeing all members from OpTic Gaming put together a very solid individual performance over here. Looks like Eco going for the triple kill. Where is that over? Looks like it's over in the pink side attic. Can he find it? No, gets double teamed from the car side of the map. Royal 2 working together with another member from OpTic, but here's a good push coming in from Liquid. If they can get a couple more slays, they should be able to get this flag out.
They are able to get 2 down for OpTic Gaming. Trying to find where that 3rd and 4th player are. He's jumping up the front window. They do get the trade, and that flag, I believe, is starting to move. Potentially, let's move over to Rain. Actually, no, that flag is not going to be moved. There was no one in that spot. I thought there was a player right behind Stellar, but still, every push seems to be both teams are so good at playing defense.
Got the kill.
We're seeing Team Liquid try to push in.
Red
They're not able to outslay OpTic. OpTic's trying to push into Team Liquid's base. They're not able to do so. Both teams just playing excellent defense. Really kind of control of their base.
Nice grenade from Frosty, but it seems like OpTic Gaming has lost the battle of keeping pressure on this map for the last 2 or 3 minutes here. It's been pretty much all Liquid. No, unfortunately for Lethal, he's not able to connect on that. Maybe he does with the grenade. He does. There it is. Nice job by him. Not being too distracted by the fact that that sword did not connect there. And now we're moving into a point in time where we're starting to think about overtime here, Mike. Minute and 35 seconds left on your game clock at the bottom right. If this is still tied up at 1, by the time it hits 00, it goes into an overtime period where it's not next flag capture wins. It's going to be the entire 3-minute period here, and we'll find out what happens as the camo does just get grabbed.
2 down for OpTic Gaming right now. We've got Penguin pushing into the base. Let's jump into a listen-in, though, with OpTic Gaming and see what their communication is like.
Shots fired on Red 2.
Our flag now. Our
flag's been taken.
Matt's got shots on him.
Enemy carrier's been
You guys
marked.
should just wrap back to our flag. Matt's
One
on
man
down.
left.
to the street. You guys go to Top it right now. Top it. Top it. Eco's on us. Eco's camo. Yeah, one top it. One just three top it.
We returned our flag.
Alright, take your time.
I'm hit. Red window.
On our base. Guys, kill this guy on our base. Yeah, drop.
30 seconds.
Top it in our bubble. The car behind. On our nerd. Our car is pushing down.
They have our flag.
Teammate down. Red
Enemy
2.
flag.
All right, there it is. You heard the communication coming out, and Lethal now having to desperate to try to get this flag touch. He does. He puts it underneath the base, but that doesn't seem to be the spot that they wanted it. You can see a couple grenades coming in here. He's just waiting to capture this flag. Royal 2 gets the kill onto Rain. The flag is still just sitting there. Penguin trying to win a big 1v1. He does not. Snakebite gets the better of him, and that flag does get returned.
Enemy engaging.
What a clutch return there, pushing this game into overtime, Mike.
What a play there. You saw everyone from Team Liquid trying to desperate just get in there and just cap the flag. It was right there. It was inches away. They weren't able to do so. And look at this. 3 down. OpTic Gaming is turning this around. That's all 4 down for Team Liquid. You've got Royal 2 running the flag on the other side. If they cap this, they will go up 2-1, but the game will not be over. There's still plenty of time left on the clock. Royal 2 flies in, caps the flag. OpTic Gaming is still in this. They're not going anywhere yet.
Not only did they capture the flag and go up 2-1, they maintained map control the entire time. And with 2 minutes left, that means that it's going to probably take a good 30 seconds for Liquid to try to push onto their base and get any type of map positioning. And you can see they're flying out there immediately. Stellar goes into pink 2, gets a kill onto Royal 2. Lethal clutches it though. It ends up charging from top center into face and cleans up that kill. Now all they have to do is continue to maintain this map control. I wonder if they're going to even go for another flag capture because of the fact that that leaves you open for a possible counterpull.
Well, Lethal is going to lose the sword there, and you're going to have Rain pick up the sword. Potentially getting, if he gets a hold of a flag here with that, they're easily going to be able to bring that flag back. But all 3 members of his team do go down. He's trying to stay alive.
Oh.
Not going to get a connection there with that sword, and he is going to fall.
I don't know why. Not sure why. Maybe his body ended up hitting the little ledge there, and he just got caught short. I know that happens sometimes in this game, and we saw it happen a little bit earlier with Lethal. Nice job by Penguin getting that kill on a Snakebite. Make that a double kill. Going for the flag return now. Can he get the triple kill? He can find it. Penguin going huge, but that flag is currently being returned. Whoever that last guy alive was ended up going big. I think that was Snakebite with the return.
Penguin can stay alive here and potentially use this. Oh, man, if he could have stayed alive with that sword and got a flag moving, that would have been incredibly clutch, but he is going to go down. Let's move over to the other side. Actually, Frosty has the sword now, and he is flying into the base. We are less than a minute left. Team Liquid does not have much time to act. Frosty going on a tear. 2 down for Team Liquid. Frosty just trying to stay alive in the base right now. Team Liquid has got to get a flag pull in fast. They've got to get one now. You've got OpTic Gaming running the flag down to Pink 1. Nice toss from Frosty's teammate, giving him the sword run flag combo. Frosty's going to leave the flag behind and push forward with the sword, but he is going to fall. Let's move over to one of the guys on Team Liquid, and you're going to see Eco running the flag now at the same spot by Pink 1. It's all going to come down to Slays right here, but that's 3 down from
Snakebite
Team
just got
Liquid.
a huge triple kill. This guy has clutched it so many times with the flag returns in game number 1, and now here in game number 4. Looks like this is going to game number 5, guys.
Game 5, my oh my. Never saw this coming with OpTic Gaming and Team Liquid. The roster changes definitely have done quite a bit to Team Liquid, and straight ripping. It all comes down to this.
It really does.
Take a look at the stats here. A lot of kills from both teams. 123 total kills from OpTic Gaming, and a total of 108 kills from Team Liquid.
Yeah, 231 kills in that game. And it's crazy looking at the stats. Again, Lethal, he only had 1 poor game in this series, but he's been playing some really phenomenal Halo. And again, Snakebite really clutching it with those CTF returns there. But either way, Liquid, they got to be feeling good about this series. If you would have told Liquid, hey guys, it's going to game 5, either way, I think that they would have took it.
Without a doubt. Look at the assists, by the way. You've got Snakebite and Frosty, both with 31 assists, more assists than they have kills. That's definitely a turnaround from what we just saw earlier in one of the earlier matches.
Yeah, pretty rare.
Not too many assists. That's a lot of assists. There's everyone except Royal 2 didn't hit the 20 mark.
Well, it's the Royal 2 move, you know. He's kind of sitting back, going huge with the stats and things like that, kind of baits a little bit, but that's because he knows what he has to do. Very similar to with Snipedown, taking the big flanks and the big routes, making the game kind of look easy. That's the Royal 2 style of play. But either way, moving into game number 5 now, this is going to be the Rig Slayer, and I'm wondering what's going to happen in the start of this game, because we saw in Eden Slayer, Team Liquid gets off to a great start. They seem to have They read OpTic Gaming like a book. They knew exactly where everyone on OpTic was going to go. They got off to this great 4-1 lead with all the control in the world. All of a sudden, Lethal pushes over towards Blue Alley, and boom, changes the game all the way around. Yeah, Liquid ended up winning that game, but you don't want to just, especially in a Game 5 or any one of these games going into the winner's bracket semifinals, allow teams to get back into it.
Yeah, here we saw Rain in the base trying to keep that flag alive. Let's talk a little bit about that moment with Stellar at Pink 1 when he picked up camo and got his shields back, trying to go out and pick up that flag, and there was just nades being bombarded in. Maybe just taking a few extra seconds could have potentially got them the cap right in that moment.
Yeah, and you don't know if someone was telling him to run the flag or what was going on with the communication there, but it seemed to me like he wanted to slow play that one, and then someone called out continue to run that, but yet someone else was in the vicinity that he didn't realize, and then boom, they were talking to two people telling them to only do one thing, and they both go for the same move, and it just doesn't work out for them. But either way, like I said, if you told Team Liquid before the series starts it's going to go to a game number 5, you only have to play a best of 1, I feel like they definitely would have taken that. And the way that they're playing right now is pretty solid, but the way that OpTic outslayed them, and the fact that OpTic finally didn't have one player with a weak individual performance, I'm a little bit worried for Team Liquid now.
Yeah, and we're going into the second game 5 here. It's Slayer on the rig. The sniper being moved out over towards the nest changes up the gameplay a little bit. could see some nasty things from OpTic Gaming here if they are able to get control of that sniper. But normally you want to get control of that sniper, sometimes keep it outside over by the back corner by the carbine, or potentially keep it inside by the bunker, depending on how your team feels about each setup. And everything is situational in Halo. I mean, you can say, hey, this is our setup right here. This is exactly what we do. But, I mean, and there's so many different situations where you could easily change up exactly how you play a map. And the more times you're in a scenario, once you get back into that scenario, you're going to be able to play it out the best way. You get into this scenario 10 times, you're going to probably know, maybe not even 10 times, 1,000 times I'm sure some of these guys have been into that same scenario. They're going to know the best way to go about coming out on top in that same situation.
I'm curious to see how fast or slow paced this specific game is going to get, because you would think with so much on the line here, winners bracket semifinals, game number 5, that it could get pretty slow in Rig. And who would that favor is the question. I feel like it would favor OpTic Gaming just a little bit based on the experience that they have. They've been through these scenarios. Again, Team Liquid having 2 new players, Spartan and Commonly are out, Stellar and Eco are in. Have they discussed these Game 5 scenarios where it comes to a standstill? Do they want to be aggressive or not? That's the question. I feel like Team Liquid, if it does come to a standstill, they don't want to keep it at that point for very long, unless they're playing the clock or something like that. I feel like, again, the slower this game is, the more it's going to favor OpTic.
Definitely. You see both teams there. They were talking shop a little bit, talking strategy. Snakebite definitely always leading his squad when it comes to that department, whether it's going over theater mode, going over previous games that they've played in practice matches. He's always kind of leading that squad. And over on the other side, I'd say I kind of look as Rain as the leader of Team Liquid. He's always kind of feel like the leader of that squad, bringing that team together, going over stuff. But yeah, winner bracket semis. The winner here goes on to winner finals to play Team Envious. A lot on the line. Today's a big day. Today
is a big day, guys. So tweet out the stream. Use that link, twitch.tv/Halo. Let's get as many eyes in here as possible. Currently sitting at 17,000 viewers. We want to hit 20. We want to hit even more than that. So make sure that you show your support on social media. Now, Mike, it is the time that I ask you, what is the score and who is going to win this game?
I'm going to say 50-47 OpTic Gaming.
All right. I have a feeling it's not going to be as close. I feel like it's going to be 50 to like 43 or a 44 area, but I hope that it comes down to the wire. I want to see a 50-49 game here.
Yeah, I think that's my heart just wants to see a close game. 49-49. Send it to OT.
Here it is.
Get that 50th kill. Who are we starting things off with? Slayer on the rig. You've got the sniper on the map. You've got Camo. Both teams going to be battling over that, and the scatter shot kicking things off with Royal 2 as he's headed straight for the sniper, getting the sightlines on top catwalk. 2 players fly into bottom engine. He gets one down to 1 shot, gets the other one weak, but he's going to go down. Now over to Snakebite. He's down as well. Over to Lethal, who's also down. And you've got Team Liquid up 4-1 already with Penguin holding the sniper.
What do you know? Another 4-1 lead. Penguin with the sniper rifle again. Let's see what happens, because it's reminding me a little bit of Eden Slayer, where all of a sudden Lethal came from the alley and got the sniper rifle out of Penguin's hand, and then OpTic Gaming retook control. But look at this. He has a scatter shot as well. So I'm wondering if they're going to try to rotate over towards the bunker here. You can see OpTic Gaming starting to get pretty aggressive and collapsing over towards the back wall area, and Penguin doesn't have much health, but he doesn't really need help unless anyone comes from that open field area. And look at that, taking perfect angles, listening to call-outs, getting aggressive, but someone has flanked over there towards the carbine. Again, that is the area that was weak, and that's where it was exploited, and who else but Lethal.
Over to Eco as Eco loses that sniper, and now Frosty has the sniper and the scatter shot. Down by 3, trying to stay alive. Spots 2 players pushing up on him.
Oh.
Hits the no-scope. Finds the other player, but he's going to get hit by a grenade. He does have some help just right behind him, but not able to be there just in time. Lethal looking to finish off the kill here. He does have Royal 2 to help him out. Tag teaming these players over by the corner. That sniper is still sitting there, and the scatter shot. Lethal now with the scatter. I believe Royal 2 has the sniper, so let's jump over to him. Looking over by tower where players could potentially be pushing. So definitely being extremely aware of the situation. Royal 2 knowing the routes other players are going to take and kind of being ready for those players to take those moves.
I'm just thinking what it was like from Lethal's screen where he's like, oh yeah, sniper's down. Oh great, scatter shot's here too. And then all of a sudden there's just a bunch of players from OpTic Gaming scooping those up. You can see Frosty was able to get the scatter shot. Royal 2 has the sniper rifle, and now OpTic Gaming somehow with a 1-kill lead.
Now they have some time here to just play a little bit slower. They don't need to push up. Royal 2 can hang back, maybe pick off a kill here for the players going for camo. Does get the body shot. That's 2 players down for Team Liquid. I do believe that player did go down. Penguin does have the camo though, and he's going to be sneaking around looking for Royal 2. Royal 2 does know that he is somewhere around, so he is going to make that rotation all the way to the other side of the map near his team.
Yeah, and I want to go over here and get into observer mode, Mike, when we have the chance. I want to see where the player outlines are. As we said, this game is starting to slow down.
All right, and while we do that, we might as well jump into a listen in with OpTic Gaming as well and take a listen to their communication.
Sniper rifle in 10 seconds.
Killing spree.
That was camera. New snipe, guys, new snipe.
Sniper rifle's ready.
Yeah, he's one to net. I'm pushing him. He's nading me, I got him. Snipe one, I felt. Snipe, you're on back run? No. I'm gonna push back, guy. Here, let's get this and grab it. Let's get this. I'm going to side, Okay. Alright, we're...
Victory.
And there you see OpTic Gaming able to turn things around and some excellent communication from their team. 25-21. Royal 2 just hanging back here. No reason to push up. Make Team Liquid make the mistakes. Have them come to you. No reason to push to them. You've got Snakebite with the scatter shot as well. All the power weapons on the map right now that are on the map are in the hands of OpTic Gaming. So Sniper will be up shortly as well. And then Camo. Camo comes up in 2 seconds. It's going to be up right now, so we'll see if OpTic Gaming makes a push for that or if it's going to be Team Liquid. That Camo is sitting up right now. You've got eyes all over it right now. Let's see, did one of the players from Team Liquid get that Camo? I do believe it may have been burned, though.
Yeah, I think it was burned as well. You can see Royal 2 thought he had frag grenades, but it ended up just being a plasma, so he had to switch on over. Now he's in a little bit of a sticky situation over here. Tried to get the stick onto Stellar. That one's not going to work out. Let's go on board with someone from Team Liquid and see how they're going to be able to get back. Eco drops, though. That's a 5-kill lead now for OpTic Gaming. Pretty comfortable, but yet anything can necessarily happen. We saw them with a 5 or 6 kill lead. Maybe even an 8-kill lead in Eden Slayer. That ended up getting choked away over here, but this is game number 5. OpTic always being known for one of the clutchest teams in Halo.
You know, we've heard a lot from OpTic Gaming this series. Let's jump to a listen in with Team Liquid and hear what their communication is like.
Make the play.
Big cat, and top bitches.
Winning base.
Big cat, top bitches.
Where? Go with pipes, for one.
I got scatter, another one, that's
Nice.
for
Shutter, I
have like a full scatter.
Pipes, 2 shots. Pipes, 2 shots. I hear you.
Outside the map. Underpass on me. Grab it,
Nice.
Maze. Yeah, don't be lethal.
Pushing up. Dead.
Last down by 3.
Alright, beast
Okay,
no
I'm on
scatter,
bro.
beast no scatter.
That's good. Okay, let's go.
Snipe at 15, snipe at 15.
Watch you help, bro.
Going calls
Or
is
am I
scatter,
tripping?
guys. I'm size
No, yeah, snipe at
Snipe at 10. Kills. You want to push?
Watch Carbine, watch
No, do we want to push?
Carbine. Carbine right now.
Yeah, let's go. One shot.
Tell me, try to make Frosty weak.
I got naded, dude.
No death. Shot me.
I'll be based
Try to help me. I'm trying to
Snipes
help
up.
him.
One shot.
Snipe up.
I got one guess.
There's one more barrels of
He's on
scatter.
this somewhere.
Rapid.
Carbine. There. 2 connectors, 2.
All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that whisper in, but Frosty ends up picking up 2 kills there. That's a 6-kill lead now here for OpTic Gaming and Liquid. They're going to have to formulate a plan around that camo and do it fast.
All right, now over to Stellar. They do have a lot of time, but they got to make some moves together as a squad. Stellar's able to get some shots. That camo is going to be up. He's going to shoot that down. Hopefully no player from OpTic Gaming is going to pick that up because he could have easily given that to them, but 2 down for OpTic Gaming, about to be 3 down. And I believe, did a player from Team Liquid get that camo yet? Now another kill for Stellar, 35-37. bringing that lead down from OpTic Gaming, 36 to 37. Team Liquid is not giving up. They are still in this fight. Plenty of time as well. They've got Scatter. And what ended up happening to Camo went into the hands of Penguin. So let's jump over to him.
That's exactly what we were just talking about, Mike. They had to make a play. They had to do it now, and it had to be around the Camo, and it couldn't have went any better for Team Liquid. They got a bunch of kills and didn't give up virtually any deaths over here, and now they have complete control of the map. And I would almost go to say, Mike, which position would you rather be in? I would take the 1 kill deficit with control here.
Yeah, I think I'd take the Camo any day here. Camo and Scatter, you're going to be able to make the push, maybe pick up a few kills from that. It's got to be a good push. They are able to get a trade, but no one else nearby right there to make a push. You got Eco all the way back at tower. It should have been an entire team push.
That's a huge mistake. Never do you want to be the Camo guy and be the furthest pressed up on the map. You want to come in and play cleanup. You need another person distracting on the radar, maybe even 2 people distracting, and then you come in and get the weak guys and then try to find, use your radar and find where the rest of the players are on the map that you don't want to initiate. Yeah, I understand. You came in with the scatter shot. Maybe thought that was going to be a little bit easier of a kill, but that was a huge missed opportunity for Team Liquid.
Eco now with the scatter shot. Down by 2. A lot of time. Still can take it slow. Picks up the scatter shot top tower. Knows that there are players from OpTic Gaming over by the bunker. He does not want to put any pressure on. So I like how he's taking it a little bit slower. They do spot Royal 2 on the other side of the map. We're all tied up now. Now OpTic Gaming does pick up that kill.
What?
The scatter bounce off the ground on Snakebite. 41 to 41. Folks, Team Liquid, OpTic Gaming, it's anyone's match right now.
I can't believe that he got that kill, but either way, let's see if he can do any more miraculous scatter shot plays, just bouncing him off the ground. No, Snakebite not going to have it, chucks a grenade out there and tries to find the scatter shot for himself. And I believe during that time, the Camo is coming up, and yes, Snakebite was able to grab that one, Mike, and that was grabbed right around that 11-second mark. I'm pretty sure this will be the last Camo unless we go to a standoff here.
That's a big play from Snakebite there. Clutch in the last moments of the game, takes down Stellar. Up 44 to 41. He's got a lot of camo left, so he's got plenty of time to sneak. Player does spot him, misses the ground pound. That's going to be Eco. Snakebite getting help from Frosty. OpTic Gaming not letting up. The aggression is still coming in from OpTic Gaming. 47 to 41. Right now, you've got a player over by tower. You've got Snakebite pushing up as well. No need to do anything absolutely ridiculous. Just get into good position, get a player weak just like that, and make some simple trades.
You see how he's playing this Camo though, Mike? Not being the first person to push in, just backing off. Now they have such a big advantage. Only 1 more kill for OpTic Gaming to win game number 5, and there it is. Frosty finds it with the snipe.
There you see it. OpTic Gaming definitely happy and probably a sigh of relief as well, being taken to game 5. And now going to winner bracket finals. They'll meet Team Envious in the rematch that we've all been wanting to see. Let's take a quick look at the stats, though, from this last match. Frosty with 16 kills and 11 deaths. A lot of assists once again from OpTic Gaming to bring out the win. And not only that, OpTic Gaming had 10 power weapon kills, 3 power-up pickups, compared to the 4 power weapon kills from Team Liquid and only 2 power-up pickups. And that last Camo and scatter shot combo there from Snakebite being right on point. Right when that Camo came up, the coach, Royal 1, Royal 2's brother, having that time down, letting Snakebite know, hey, it's going to be up at this exact time. And you saw Snakebite right as he clambered up right to the ledge. Camo popped. He picked it up. He was getting shot, but he was able to get out of